Okay, good morning everybody. Cinco de Mayo, huh? May 5th? Cool, very cool. Yeah, we won't be partying too much. We'll just like hanging out. Anyway, tomorrow we have a test on Chapter 8, and here is the chapter review. If you want a copy of the chapter review, let me know. I will go through it with you briefly, and then you guys can work on it. But so number 1, that's pretty easy. Okay, you're just going to add those. If you want QS, just add them. Number 2, pretty easy. 59 minus 47, you can do that. 3, quarter the midpoint. So one way to do it is to graph it and find the middle, and then, or the other way is to use the formula where you've got x1, y1, x2, y2, and use the formula. And the midpoint formula is, and I'm going to put it down probably right here so we have it. Midpoint formula. Hopefully you guys have this. It is my x2 plus x1 divided by 2, comma, because it's a point, y2 plus y1 over 2. Okay, that's midpoint formula. Okay. I also want the distance, so one way to do it is by graphing, the other is the distance formula. If we graph it, let's take a look at number 3 real quick. I'll do number 3 with you, and you guys can do number 4. One way to do these is just by graphing. So if I go to -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and -8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is way down here, and -1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is way up here. And so then if you want to find the midpoint, you can count and find the middle, or you can use the formula, which I don't mind the formula at all. The formula here's, so here's my points, x1, y1, x2, y2, and just plug those in. Now, distance, there is a distance formula. Distance is, or length, is equal to the big square root. Remember we talked about this also. That's our x2 minus our x1, quantity squared, plus our y2 minus our y1, quantity squared. Or for me, you can also make it into a right triangle and use Pythagoras Theorem, and that also works. Okay, either one of those techniques will give you midpoint and distance. Okay, on 5 they tell you the midpoint, and then here's the other point, E. So one way is to graph it and find the other point. That's probably the easiest way to do 5. 5, we have a midpoint of 1, -1, and one endpoint E is at -3, 2. So I really think that the easiest way to do this one is graphing it, but you can also use the midpoint formula. It will work. I showed that on one of my videos. I prefer the algebra, but you know, most kids are visual. So 1, -1, there's M, -3, 2, there's E. So if that's the midpoint, and the other point's got to be around here somewhere, right? And you can just count down 3 over 4, down 3 over 4, and you can get it like right about there. Okay. Number 6, determine if it's true or false. A, R, and B, are they collinear? Are they all on the same line? Are these BW and AT? Is that true? Are they lines? Are these opposite rays? Plane D could also be named ART. Is that true? Decide what's true or false. Okay. 10, you got to graph it and come up with the perimeter and the area. Okay, that's probably a rectangle. This is a triangle, which is a little bit harder to do, but remember we've talked about that also. I'll take a look at 11 with you. You turn the page and I'll do 11 with you. 11, I have these points J at -1, 3, and I have K at 5, 3, and I have L is at 2, -2. Okay, so let me go ahead and graph this. Okay. Alright. -1, 3 is J, 5, 3 is K, and 2, -2 is L. So if I draw this in, the area is actually pretty easy because you have the height of the triangle and you have its base. Okay, the area is actually pretty easy. Let's talk about area first because area is easy. Area is just 1/2 its base times its height. Its base is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The base is 6. And the height, though, the height is drawn right in here. Here's the height, okay? Now, to find the perimeter is a little bit tougher. So to do the perimeter, we're going to look at trying to find this length here. And I'm going to draw a right triangle, and I'm going to use Pythagoras Theorem. And I believe this length is the same. So if I use Pythagoras Theorem, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Pythagoras Theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And I know you guys have learned this in 7th grade. I've got 3 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. I get a 9 plus 25 equals c squared, which is out of 34. And I'll take the square root of 34, whatever that is, clear, square root of 34, and I get an answer about 5.83. So here's what I know. This is 5.8. This side's 5.8, and this side's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's your perimeter, okay? So that'll help. Moving on to 12 is pretty easy. We get a straight angle. AEF is a straight angle, so if that's 39, there's my 90. Then you can subtract from 90 to get that angle here. Just 90 minus your 39 will give you that angle here. Same thing, 27 minus 90 will give you that angle there, okay? And it says identify all supplementary and complementary angles. So supplementary would be 2 angles that add up to 180 degrees. So there's a bunch of them there. And complementary is 2 angles that add up to 100, or complementary add up to 90. That's 90 degrees, and that's 180 degrees, okay? But 2 angles, okay? So example, I might say angle, I don't know, AFB with angle BFE as my 2 complementary here. Let me show you what these, so you can see them, right? Okay. Complementary, I might take these 2 angles here. Let's say angle CFD, angle CFD, and angle DFE. Okay. 13 is super easy. Find the complement, subtract from 90. The supplement, subtract from 180, pretty easy. Okay. 15. We know that angle DEF, that's the entire angle, adds up to 87. So let's just take this 6x, we'll take our angles, we're going to add them together. Plus 13 plus our 2x plus 10, and set it equal to our 87. Once you get the value of x, you got to plug it in. So get x equals, I don't know, 8x, you guys figure out what x is, and then plug it in, okay? 16, same thing, we've got angle ABC equals 77. So we're going to take a 3x plus 22 plus a 5x minus 17 equals my 77, okay? And the same thing on this one, ABC is 110, so you take these 2 angles, add them together, and set it equal to 110. So that's your review. Let me know when you need it. I'll send it to you, and then tomorrow's the test. And we'll talk about the test tomorrow, and then if you get everything done, everything caught up, then you can take the rest of the week and weekend off, okay? Test tomorrow, and we'll take a look at that tomorrow, okay?